Hello, what's happening? Matt, aka Lethal Frag here, and today we're going to be talking about explosive damage in Modern Warfare 3. And I'd like to give giant kudos to Infinity Ward. I've had some negative things to say about this game, but I want to point out that they did something very right in this game, as they finally got explosive damage toned down to the right amount. I have not been killed by a noob tube yet, and I've played this game for about 12 hours played time, and that is a really exciting concept to me. And it's also been kind of frustrating because I've gotten lots and lots of hit markers on my frag grenades, whereas those would have normally been kills for me. I'm getting a lot of hit markers. And I mean, they brought back Blast Shield, which is essentially Flak Jacket in this game in comparison to Black Ops, but you know, explosive damage is where it needs to be. And it goes to show that they really took the feedback they got from Modern Warfare 2 and previous Call of Duty games and tone that explosive damage down to where it needs to be. I haven't seen that many people running around with noob tubes. I have seen some interesting explosive used in interesting ways. The recon perk paints enemies hit with explosive damage on the minimap, and this is actually the main usage I've seen of explosives, is people will throw noob tubes on with that perk to kind of mark people on the minimap. The explosive radius of explosives is the exact same. They just took the damage down, a major notch. Once again, I'm so excited about this. It really adds a new element to the game. It really makes it feel a little bit better. I don't have to worry about getting spawn tubed or noob tubed across the map by some kid with one-man army in danger close. I think we can all agree that one-man army was one of the worst perks that's ever been in a Call of Duty game, if not the worst. I would rank it higher than Last Stand, Second Chance, even Martyrdom, which I absolutely hated. One-man army was the worst, and people really used that to exploit the game. I don't think that's when they put it in the game, that's how they intended it. It's like, oh, let's give people infinite noob tubes. Don't think that was their plan with one-man army, but you know, that's how it got used. People put on Danger Close and one-man army and just sat there and noob tube all day. Which, I mean, hey, it's in the game. And that's one thing you gotta know when you make a video game or you're playing a game, is that if it's in the game, somebody's gonna use it, somebody's gonna find a way to exploit it, and they did a really good job of removing that exploit, of, you know, toning down the explosive damage and working on that to make the game better. So, you know, giant kudos to Infinity Ward for doing that. I'm just really happy about it. I just want to do a whole commentary covering explosive damage, because I have never been more frustrated in a game with explosive damage than I was in Modern Warfare 2. And even in Black Ops, noob tubes were super powerful. And I will go ahead and say that I have nothing against noob tubes. And like I said, if it's in the game, people are going to use it, and that's something that you have to adjust to. And while it's super frustrating and people exploit the game in ways that maybe they shouldn't be exploited, or cheap. I would definitely say one-man army was cheap, and it was not a very skillful tactic. It was, however, in the game, and it was going to be used. And, you know, if you want to enjoy the game fully, it's just something you have to deal with. But good job removing that. Excellent job. Let's go into the smaller map size here, and I think this is a critical reason why explosive damage had to be nerfed, is because of the smaller map size. Did a dual comm with Ross or RDS99, and we talked briefly about that, you know, about the smaller map size and how the spawns are kind of muddied because of that, which is absolutely true. The spawns are definitely a little bit crazy in Modern Warfare 3, but if they would have left explosive damage as was and noob tubes were as powerful, I think it really would have ruined the game for a lot of people. So, you know, taking that feedback and going forward and improving that for the game was a huge step in the right direction. Huge step. Hey, I got a frag kill there. You know, I'm still getting frag kills. I don't really know where to throw the frags yet. I'm kind of getting the hang of that. And as I said, the PC mode is, or the theater mode on PC is broken right now, so I can't do the kind of content I want to, or really even study the game the way I want to. But, you know, I still got a pretty good feeling of where those frags are going, and I'll be doing some starting frag stuff in the future and working on, you know, using explosives. I recently unlocked the Bouncing Betty. I think that's the most effective explosive I've used so far. It's essentially a claymore, is what it is. It's a 360 claymore. extremely effective if you place it in the right spot. But if you don't place it in the right spot, the one thing about the bouncing Betty is that it is extremely easy to see on the ground. I've only been killed by one so far. People don't really understand how to place them yet. You gotta leave them, you know, pretty far around that corner so that people can, you know, have a chance to run into them. Especially important since most people are using Stalker Pro. I know I am. I don't think I'm going to take Stalker Pro off for a really long time unless I'm going to use steady aim on a shotgun or something like that. Guess we can just touch briefly on shotguns too. I mean, they are a primary weapon. I felt like the shotguns were a little bit weak. I only played about 5 or 6 games with them. I used the SPAS 12 mostly. Great at close range, not so hot at medium range, which is not the Call of Duty standard for shotguns. You know, in Black Ops, I love playing with the Olympia. Love playing with the SPAS 12. Of course, the SPAS 12 in Black Ops was semi-auto, so that was really good. It was definitely my highest kill death weapon was the SPAS. So I'm interested to play a little more shotgun play, because I'm not really focusing on my kill death in Modern Warfare 3. I'm just trying to have a good time, which I've done so far. You know, I've done several commentaries on my opinions of this game, and I'm just going to go out here and say it's a great game. It really is. I'm going to do a commentary on Modern Warfare 3 versus Battlefield 3 multiplayer, and I'm not gonna smash either game, to be honest. I think when it comes down to it, gaming is really personal opinion, and whatever my opinion may be, I'm not going to say that one of these games is, you know, heads and tails better than the other. It would just be my personal opinion. But I've seen that the Call of Duty series has done a lot of things right in this game. Certainly things I don't enjoy, but, you know, explosive damage was a huge concern for me coming into this game, and I'm really glad to see that they fixed it, that they toned it down, they put it in its place, really. I mean, nobody thinks that Call of Duty Modern Warfare is a realistic game. It's not a realistic game. You know, in fact, it's about as arcadey as you get, and that's kind of partly the fun about it, but it still needs to have balance, and I think they've done a really good job of balancing that. Gun balance, I'm still not sure about, but you know, they removed a huge component of the Call of Duty series that was kind of holding it back, which is that explosive damage, those noob tubes. There's no infinite noob tubes, and they really don't work the same as they did before. And I'm sure there's going to be some kids out there that are extremely good with the noob tube. I know I'm extremely good with the noob tube. I just usually don't throw it on because I think it's just as easy to shoot somebody as it is to tube them. But, you know, granted, that tube has its place in the game. I mean, there are grenade launchers in real life, and they do get used. It's a pretty powerful tool. It's just not good when it gets abused. But as I see right now, I'll give another opinion if it changes, but I don't see that being able to be abused, you know, on a large scale. Maybe if the entire team put on noob tubes and was just spamming it the whole time, it'd be really annoying. But, you know, I've been hit by several noob tubes, just haven't been killed yet. And I'm not going to be pissed when I get killed by one because I understand, you know, what they did to improve that aspect of the game. So I'm just going to leave this on a good note. I'm really happy with this game. It didn't quite grab me like other Call of Duties to the point where this is the only game I'm going to play for months and months and months. But, you know, it's really solid. It's a great game. They did a lot to balance the game out. And, you know, it's looking really nice. It's looking like it has a long-term life, and I'll definitely be playing it for a while. That's about all I got. Frag out.